Right, welcome to another lap and test, and this is another offer vehicle for this week, and this is the Stirling GT, which is one of the best sounding and one of the best looking cars in the game. This is also a HSW car, so when you've got this you can get this over to How, and you can get a few upgrades that make it even more difficult to drive. So I am really hopeful that this thing is going to knock the hideous EVX off the top of the list. It's certainly fast enough to do that. The question is, can I coax this thing around a clean enough lap to get a good enough time? So let's see. Oh dear, that's not a good start. And it's not looking like it. One of the problems with this car, because it is based on a classic car, it has a huge amount of power, especially with the HSW upgrade, but it also has very little traction at the back and it's quite light. So as you go round, the slightest little knock sends you straight off course, and that sends you careering round in donuts everywhere. You'll do more donuts in this car than in any other car in the game. So city handling, it's, ooh dear me, are there any brakes? City handling, I think it's a 2, I'm afraid. I love the car, but my god, this thing's difficult to drive. The other issue is the brakes, and I actually feel like I need to go and check that I have remembered to upgrade them. They are that bad, and these are the HSW brakes as well. So let's get it on the freeway and let's see if we can stretch our legs a bit and overtake that monstrosity that is the EVX. And there's a perfect example. Slight little nick throws you into just the side where you just slightly catch a concrete bollard, and that's it. All of a sudden you're facing the wrong way. You've probably seen on this bit, it is incredibly tail happy. Now it's reasonably controllable, but it will kick out everywhere. Downforce, even before we get to Yeet Corner, I'm going to score downforce at a 2 as well. There is some, but it's just a token amount. It has very little grip, very little downforce. Now I'm going to need to brake a lot. And look at that, I was practically stationary, and even then I can barely get around the corner. Right, stretch our legs again and get around to the top speed test. I'm starting to sound like I don't like this car. I do. I think this is one of the best looking, best sounding cars in the game, and I do use this a lot, even though it's thoroughly unsuitable for almost anything you'd want to do. Right, here we go, top speed test. This is where this thing should shine. This was already a fast vehicle, and then when the HSW upgrade was added, it was even quicker. So this is hopefully where it's going to catch up and overtake the EVX, and you can feel the speed. And actually, at this speed, the handling sort of makes sense. Unlike the Weevil that I tested yesterday, where even the faster you go, the handling is just appalling. When you really open this thing up, the looser handling kind of works. Kind of. And it was going so well. And that's one of the problems with this car, with the handling being so woolly. It can be really difficult to accurately get through a gap. I think the end of this lap is going to be an absolute catastrophe trying to get over those bridges in this thing. But let's get over there and see how we do. So let's pick through the traffic. One thing this thing does have on its side is that it is quite a narrow car. So when you're at the slightly lower speed traffic, you can kind of pick through, just not around the barriers apparently. And when you do get spun out, you can see it can be quite difficult to get going in the right direction again. So much power, it's really easy to spin this thing round. So I think traffic, again, do you know what, it's going to be 2s across the board. 2 for city handling, 2 for downforce, 2 for traffic, which is strange because I love this car and I think you should buy it. So yeah, in summary, should you buy this car? Absolutely. It looks fabulous, it sounds fabulous, it's a really cool car, it has some cool liveries, it has some cool customization options. I think you should buy it, and I think you should put it in one of the well-lit garages so you can always see it. It's such a good looking thing. Just don't expect it to stay good looking for very long if you drive it. I mean, look at the state of this thing, it's absolutely battered. But hopefully, even though it wasn't a particularly clean lap, fingers crossed, it still felt reasonably quick. So hopefully it has knocked the monstrosity that is the EVX off of the top of our leaderboard. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.